Greetings. I'm Harvey Cthulhu. Guys, in this time when pop culture is being reduced to a woke wasteland, it's more important than ever to subscribe to Doomcock and support him in his efforts to save pop culture. Please subscribe. Thank you.
So I'm having my morning coffee, minding my own damn business, my anger at a low simmer as it generally is before I drink my goddamn morning caffeine, and being mostly caught up on my Twitter DMs for once in my life, I scroll through my general Twitter feed, hoping for a cute animal video or a little porn for fuck's sake, but no. Apparently a little porn is just too much to ask these days, because I stumbled over something that damn near made me projectile spit take my precious caffeine fix all over my subterranean lab. And so, being an evil supervillain, I thought I'd return the favor and try to make you spew your beverage as well. The comics industry has been slowly dying for the past 20 years or so, and I've always lamented this as more and more comic shops have shut down around the country. But after reading this next bit of news for the first time in my life, I'm relieved to think that comics are finally going to be put out of their misery. I've just read that there's a new superhero on the block in the DC universe, Teen Lantern. Well, you may be thinking, what's wrong with that? There's a proud tradition of teen superhero sidekicks in the comics verse. Robin was the boy wonder, you had Aquaboy, Supergirl, Sparky, Bucky. Peter Parker was the amazing Spider-Teen, after all. Surely this is nothing new, Doomcock, you're being a curmudgeon. I wish that were true, my friends, but it's not the case. If it were merely a teenage superhero deemed worthy by the Blue Masters of War, who had granted the teenager a ring, or if a dying lantern had bequeathed the ring to a teen, I would not have nearly spit my coffee all over my phone. But no. No, in actual fact, the teen in question, Kelly Cantata, an 11-year-old girl of color from Bolivia, gained her powers by hacking into the Green Lantern power battery with her mom's laptop. Hacking into the Green Lantern power battery with her mom's laptop. Just let that sink in. This is what DC has come to. Now, Marvel, oh good God, they've been there a long, long time. The Marvel Comics universe is a vast wasteland of broken canon, splintered heroes, and shattered continuity. But DC had been barely clinging to life, with woke rot like gangrene creeping around the edges of their universe, gammy books dropping away like infected toes here and there, but the heart was still beating feebly within the chest of this once proud company. But when I read this item, when I saw what they were doing to Green Lantern, I understood that nothing is sacred, and the mainstream comics industry is a lost cause. The Blue Masters of War were incredibly powerful and advanced aliens, and their Green Lantern Corps members were guardians of justice across the galaxies. There was a moral component to the Guardians of War, a cold, haughty pride. The system they set up to bestow this ultimate weapon unto those who were morally worthy to wield it was more than just some kind of high technology. It had a mystical component. The power of the Green Lanterns was invoked by the Green Lantern battery and an incantation. So either the Guardians' power was derived via a mix of science and mysticism, or their technology was so advanced as to be indistinguishable from magic. But either way, there is no way in hell an 11-year-old girl is going to hack into Owen mystical technology with a fucking laptop. I mean what? The Green Lantern battery ran on Wi-Fi all this time? What operating system were the Owens using? Windows? Apple? Linux? Android? Ever tried to get Windows to run an Apple program? Without a common protocol specifically engineered to facilitate communication across operating systems, none of these operating systems can communicate with each other. They can't run each other's code, they can't infect each other with viruses that impact them. They are completely different beasts. So the idea that an 11-year-old girl from Bolivia could hack Owen technology with a laptop is woke bullshit that degrades literally everything in the Green Lantern continuity. What are the implications of this single idiotic decision by comics veteran, woke wonder, and cultural vandal Brian Michael Bendis? It strips away the layer of mysticism that has always surrounded the Green Lantern Corps. In the wokest of wokety woke wokitudes, it shows that an 11-year-old girl of color in Bolivia is smarter than all the blue geniuses of Oa. It diminishes the moral authority of the Green Lantern Corps because now not all the holders of Green Lantern rings are worthy of wielding them. At least one of them got it by stealing the technology with a laptop in Bolivia in her mom's kitchen. It dumbs down comics yet again with another degradation of canon inspired by woke virtue signaling and/or the desperation of a contemptible hack to meet a deadline and come up with an idea despite being creatively bankrupt, and it's another gob of spit square in the face of any comic book reader who has hung in all this time. This is how little respect comic book creators have for canon, for themselves, and for the few comic book readers left in the world. This is not only why the comic book industry is dead, it is also why our civilization is in decline, as more and more of our myths are being converted to propaganda in order to serve the woke agenda that hacks like Bendis see as being far more important than any notions of narrative integrity, tradition, or canon. Bendis would rather rig a story to try to draw in girls of color by making them feel like the bestest ever than preserve a comics tradition that reaches back to the 1940s. And mind you, how Bendis is doing this is the unkindest cut of all. The Green Lantern Corps is filled with aliens of all races and sexes, always has been. If DC, in its infinite wisdom, decided that for marketing purposes they wanted a teen lantern in the Corps, an 11-year-old girl from Bolivia, then fine, who cares? They could have simply inserted her into the Corps in the normal ways without completely degrading the Green Lantern universe, but no, Bendis decided it wasn't enough to have a teen lantern in the Corps, no. She had to be the bestest, cleverest Green Lantern ever, so goddamn unbearably wonderful in every way, she outwits the Guardians of Oa, hacks their tech, steals their power, and makes a joke of the Green Lantern Corps by just adding herself to the roster through illegal and unethical means. Forget canon, forget the implications to the larger Green Lantern universe. All that mattered here was Bendis wanted to virtue signal woke points by making yet another girl of color the bestest ever. And thus another comic book continuity is burned on the pyre of wokeness. I'm sickened and saddened by the state of the comic book industry. You'd think I'd be gratified that my decision to stop buying comics about 10 years ago was the right choice, to stop supporting an overpriced product with no respect for its customers. But really, I just kind of feel disgusted. Perhaps when I take over the world, I'll revive the comic book industry, and purged of all its canon corruption, comics may have a chance to thrive again. But until that time, my friends, stay away and stay angry.